Hey guys, Jan here in the Northview Model Shop, and we're back working on our Tamiya Panther kit. Guys, this time we're going to play a little bit with some weathering of our track. So let's get right to it. As you see, we've got one side completed, and it looks pretty decent. We're using what I call the Andy Hobby Headquarters method, and that is using some variation of Vallejo products. So we're going to do a quick little step-by-step on how we achieved it. It looks pretty decent. The only thing you need to do is keep in mind to where you're setting your vehicle in sense of the build periods to which of the pigments you're going to use. So what we need to get going here is an old brush, and we prefer this. We just got a bunch of watercolor brushes, and this one had quite a long bristles on it. We cut them down kind of right short for kind of jamming fillers and pigments and washes and stuff like that. You don't marry too much. The brush was like 99 cents. The other thing that we like to use is an old pop or soda cap. And this is just something you can dab your washes and the whatnot into, and it's just disposable, right? I mean, these, you've paid for them already on your bottles. You might as well keep them for that purpose. The recycler will not take them, so we save them. We kind of put them in a little baggie like so, and we use them as we go on. Wash them, of course. Now, what you're going to need is first a Vallejo's wash. We like to use the Desert Dust. It's what Andy over at Andy Hobby Headquarters suggests, and we found it just lays down a nice little base, and what he calls is a fixing agent. So this goes on, gets the tracks kind of wet, then we throw in what follows our pigments, keeps it in there, gets it stuck in there, and then when it dries, it has something to hold on to. So we're using that. Then we go in with Vallejo's European Earth pigment powder, and then we come back in with a little bit of light sienna pigment powder. Now, like I said, guys, depending on where you want to put your tank, either in Africa or Germany or Belgium or wherever, these two products here may change up, but I think you can pretty well stick to using the Vallejo. So what we like to do is, let's get this turned around like so, get it here, hopefully we're in focus. Like what I'd like to do is get going with a little bit of the wash down inside of there, and that kind of starts the process. Now what we'll do is, the other thing to do is get these open prior to, because if not, it does become a bit of a battle as you get going. But anywho, all right, so get our brush wet and just walk this in here, moving it all out. Get the sides like so. Now if your brush is still wet, we go in with the light sienna. Just dab the brush right in there, get a buildup, and just start blotting it in there, working it all through. Now, as you see, the wash, the Desert Dust wash, is just mixing up with our pigment powder. So now you get a little bit of a slurry there. Now your brush is still wet, with no worries, just go right into the light one, the European Earth, and kind of work it in there as well. And you'll notice here, and it takes some practice, but depending on how heavy you do want your mud or how light is how much you'll walk her in there. Now, you see there is quite a color difference here, but as this dries out, it'll come to this light side. And then, guys, we'll get this washed out here, and I'll show you a little something. Just water. That's the nice part about this product. Just water does the trick. Let that kind of dry it off. When you're done, and if you're not happy with what you've got here, if you find that this is too heavy, you just kind of come in with the brush and dust some of that off. It's pretty quick, pretty simple. Now, guys, another little trick here we're going to go at is to see this looks pretty decent here. We're kind of went El Cheapo, and we didn't do down here. A thought is it's always going to be sitting on the tracks. You're never going to see it. So why waste just product? These products are not cheap, so why waste them? Thusly, put the covers on them as soon as you're done with them, obviously. Now, guys, the same stuff is using the same techniques and the same powders, is then you start working in through here as well. You can see we've got a couple spots that we need to hide. So you put a little extra there, some dust and dirts. Now, we got some other products we'll play with, and we'll get to those in the next video. But guys, it is really just that simple. It's a trial and error process. The more you put in, the heavier it's going to be. The less you put in, the lighter it's going to be. And you can always go back and add a little more. So guys, thanks for tuning in once again. If you like what you're seeing here, don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget, guys, these techniques we've learned from a gentleman named Andy over at Andy's Hobby Headquarters. Check him out. He does some amazing videos on building armor. So guys, thanks a million, and adios.